My name's Rick Childry. I'm the president of the Greater Smithfield-Selma Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to welcome all of you to the first of two candidate forums that the Chamber is sponsoring this month for candidates running for the Selma Town Council tonight, and then next Tuesday night in Smithfield at the Town Hall we'll be hosting a similar forum for candidates in Smithfield. We have several of our candidates here tonight, and we're certainly thank them for coming out and participating in what we feel is a very important exercise to hear from them, for you to hear what they have to say, and we certainly want to encourage all of you to go to the polls on November 2nd? 3rd, excuse me, November 3rd, Tuesday, November 3rd, for on election day. I do want to thank, is Keith here? He was here. Chick-fil-A for providing food tonight, and there's still some back there, and if you decide you'd like to get another chicken nugget or some lemonade, just go through the door and down the hall, and it's right there available. I do want to introduce Crystal Roberts. Crystal is the board chair of the chamber, and she's going to introduce our moderator.
This is our great build-up to our candidates. I'm Crystal Roberts, the 2015 board chair for the Smithfield-Selma Chamber, and we thank you so very much for coming out. We always enjoy, we not only enjoy, but need input from our communities. And we want to thank our candidates as well, because, you know, that theme or that saying, may the best man win, I'm going to throw that out the window, because these are all very, very good people. We appreciate your commitment to our communities and to the quality of our communities. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our public policy chairman of our committee. I'm sorry.
Keith just walked back.
Oh, okay. Chicken Man. We love Keith Dimsdale. He is our host tonight for our reception, our sponsor for our reception. Keith Dimsdale, Chick-fil-A.
I'm actually going to put this up here. Welcome, everyone. As you notice, I am not Jack Tapper. I'm not Anderson Cooper. I'm definitely not Megan Kelly. This is not a debate. It is an opportunity for these ladies and gentlemen to get some of their ideas to you and let you know kind of where they stand on the future of the town of Selma. So the way this is going to work, starting off about a 2-minute kind of the elevator speech. Who they are, why they're running, kind of their background here. And then we have some questions that the chamber feels are kind of hot topics in the community. This is not an opportunity for you guys to ask questions, but please, we encourage, if you have any questions of the candidates, ask them, get in touch with them, see how they are going to guide Selma in the future, and form your opinion based on their answers and who you feel would be the best candidate to lead the town into the future. So without further ado, Ms. Cheryl Oliver and Mr. William Overby are running for the seat of mayor. Eric Jackson, Ms. Lily Langston, and Mark Peterson are all running for town council seats. There were some scheduling conflicts. Timmy Strickland, Byron Wickline, Tommy Holmes, and Jeffrey Watson were not able to attend tonight. But they are also, all 4 of those are running for town council seats as well. So, pardon?
Jeffrey running for mayor.
Oh, Jeffrey is running for mayor as well. Sorry. Ms. Oliver?
Thank you very much. In the information we received, they mentioned in the opening 2 minutes, they'd like for us to talk about our vision for Selma. And I support the vision that is stated in our strategic plan, that is Selma, a destination of choice for those who desire a great place to live, work, and play. The words a destination of choice imply that the town of Selma has to offer compelling reasons for citizens or businesses to move here and call Selma home. This is important in providing a framework for the decisions that council makes. A vision statement shouldn't just be in a binder, but it should be evidenced in our decisions. And let me give you a couple of examples. A couple of years ago, we received a request from a mobile home park owner to add additional mobile homes, even though at the time of purchase he had been told there were no additional homes to be added. While there's nothing intrinsically wrong with mobile homes, a survey of the housing stock in Selma showed that that wasn't a housing sector we needed to grow. We have to create a healthy mix of housing at low, middle, and high economic levels in order to attract a diverse population. Such a mix is critical for sustainable economic growth in Selma. It is likewise important to the success of our schools and to the growth of our churches and civic organizations. Another example of how I use vision to inform decisions was at a recent town council meeting. I requested that our staff, and maybe I'll tell you about that one later. I will close.
Mr. Overby?
Well, good afternoon. My name is William Overby, and I'm running for candidate for mayor. I would appreciate your vote and support on November the 3rd. Let me tell you a little bit what I'm running for. My goals will be to represent the hardworking taxpayers, citizens of Selma, give you your voice in local government, no matter how large or how small it is. My administration will be open, easy access, transparent, and will work to keep taxes and fees as low as possible. I want to make sure that Selma's citizens are protected by our police informant, our fire department, and also the emergency. I like to also implement a 311 program for non-emergency events such as hurricanes, storms, and stuff like that, and floods, so that people have easy access of finding out what's going on in Selma and where they actually need to go. I am striving to improve our customer service at Town Hall and rely on quality employees. If you want to find a little bit more about me, go to my website at williamoverby.com. I appreciate you coming tonight. I also am in favor of, we have to focus on economic growth in Selma. In order for us to grow and have more business and places for people to come, we got to focus there first. We have a great staff in the town hall that we can actually work with. We just need to free them up and give them more time to do their job. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Eric Jackson, 10-year resident of Selma. I have been active in not only Selma but in our community, a member of the Selma Development Partnership, a member of our Selma Historic Museum, a member of the Historic Properties Commission, and a member of the Selma Appearance Commission. I'm running for the Town Council to bring a fresh set of ideas, a new pair of eyes for all of the citizens of Selma. 2017 will mark the 150th anniversary of the founding of our town. And I would very much appreciate your support and vote to be that voice to take Selma into the next 150 years. One of the reasons why I'm running is I would like to see that the Citizens Advisory Commissions get reestablished. One, to bring a voice for all of the citizens of Selma, to bring sustainabilities to our neighborhoods, to help property owners and businesses. I want to see that our infrastructure, the one thing that businesses, that industries look for, infrastructure. We have neglected that part of our town, and that is one of the reasons why I'm running, to bring new voice to the infrastructure. I will also be a voice for all of the citizens of Selma, to be that voice to the property owner, to the business owner, to the homeowner, to the new resident, and to the longtime residents. So I would very much appreciate your vote on November the 3rd. Thank you.
Ms. Langston?
Good evening. I'm Lily Langston, and it's Lily Jernigan Langston, and everybody knows me. Most of you know me as Shorty. I was just telling the children earlier that today, 54 years ago, I got the name of Shorty in Pee Wee. That's what my husband called me. He said, "This is my wife Shorty," or "This is my wife Pee Wee." I said, "Well, when I die, if I go first, please put that somewhere so somebody will know that I've already gone to see Jesus." Thank you for allowing us to come and be with you fine people. And I want to tell you what I want from Selma. I've been here 70-something years, and I grew up here. We came to Selma. My father was a sharecropper out on River Road, and we came here when I was 5 years old to town. So I've seen Selma grow from dirt streets to paved streets, good home cooking everywhere. You could go any house in this town and sit down and eat with the people there, and you were not afraid to. I want to see our town grow and not stand still. I'd like to see new business here, new factories here, something for people to come and call Selma home, come here and as a newlyweds and raise their family here. And plant the seed, grow the seed here and grow, and let's blossom to be a bigger, better Selma than we've ever had in the last 150 years. And again, our school system needs to be improved. Recreation for our young people to get them off the streets at night.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson?
Good evening. My name is Mark Peterson. 10 years ago, my wife and I made a leap of faith. We left the hustle and bustle and fast-paced lifestyle of Washington, D.C. and sought out to find a place warmer, more civil to live. We found a wonderful community called Selma, North Carolina. Why am I running for Selma Town Council? I'm running for the same reason that you're here. I care. I care about Selma. I care about its future. Let me give you a little background about me. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, Colonel.
Right.
I'm active in Veterans Affairs. Currently serve as commander in the American Legion District 11, which encompasses posts in Wake County and in Johnston County. And I'm also commander of Selma Post number 141. My educational background is I have Bachelor of Science degrees in Electrical Engineering, Chemistry, Science Education. Currently employed by Johnson County Schools. For the past, well, this is starting my 11th year at Smithfield Selma High School. I've enjoyed my tenure there. I served there as the physics teacher and technology coordinator for the school. And I'm a past chairman of the school improvement team over at Smithfield Selma. Now the vision I have for Selma. I see Selma as a dynamic community with industries and our certified industrial sites providing well-paying jobs for our citizens. I see a town with excellent schools that will prepare and empower our youth to be successful citizens in a global economy. I see a town that has activities for our youth to help them in their studies and to channel our energies in positive activities. I see a town that is on sound financial footing and has an excellent bond rating. I see a town that truly will be a charming place to be. That's who I am and what I envision for your town, our town. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move into the question round. You'll have about a minute to answer the question after I read it. And to start off the question phase, some of you have already kind of touched on this, but please tell us some of your connections with the community, such as social, service organizations, and any volunteer activities. And give us just a minute to reset the clock. And this time we are going to start with you, Mr. Overby. Again, the question, just some of your connections with the community.
I I've served with the Boys and Girls Club here in Selma. I was part of the creating their website and stuff for them. I'm also a guardian lineman. I work in that program as well. I've been here with the Park and Recreations for probably 20 to 25 years that I worked with the Park and Recreation as a volunteer. There's been there's a lot of things that in the area that is much as, for example, the fire department. I've been very much influenced by what they do as well. It's been I've been here I lived all my life here in Selma, and it's a great place to live. And there's always plenty to do here in Selma. You just got to come out and take the time and exert yourself and be part of it.
Mr. Jackson?
As a 10-year member of resident of Selma, I have been active in St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Smithfield. I have organized several lecture series with the Selma Historic Museum, the Heritage Center, and Johnston Community College. I have taught history at Johnston Community College since 2010. I'm a member of the Selma Historical Homeowners Association, the Heritage Center, the Selma Development Partnership. I served as secretary of the Selma Development Partnership, was chairman of the Founders Day ceremonies in 2010, co-chairman of Selma in the spring in 2010, publicity chair of our several of our historic home and garden tours, and I was a former member of the Selma Appearance Commission, the Selma Historic Properties Commission, and I am the secretary-treasurer of the Selma Historic Homeowners Association. I am a graduate of Campbell University. I have a master's degree in history from North Carolina State University.
Ms. Langston?
I work, still work. Someone said, when you're going to retire? When I'm 80, maybe. Anyway, I work with Rainbow Vacuum in Clayton as a marketing director. I'm president of the Ladies of Faith in my church. It's the ministry in our church. And on the Citizens Advisory Committee here. And the Citizens Police Academy. And I had, I'm a people person. Of course, you already know that because you've been long enough to know. I like people, and I know, I've been here long enough that I know what someone needs, and I can relate to them, and they can relate to me. And I'm ready to help our people for whatever they need in our town.
Mr. Peterson?
As I mentioned before, I'm a veteran, United States Marine Corps. I'm very active in veteran affairs. I'm a member of the American Legion. I'm a member of the governing body of the Department of North Carolina, the Department Executive Committee. I'm the district commander for District 11, two offices again, Wake and Johnston counties, which has about 2,500 veterans in there. I visit each of those 22 posts at least once during my tenure. Most of them I'll probably get twice. I'm past president of Johnston County Council of Veterans Associated Organizations. I'm appointed by the county commissioners to the Veterans Advisory Board for the commission. So I'm very active in veterans affairs. It takes up a lot of my time, and I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of what our veterans do. There are 40,000 veterans in North Carolina belong to the American Legion. I'm very proud to be one of them. Thank you.
Ms. Oliver?
I am a member of the Town of Selma Appearance, Marketing, and Historic Properties Committees, as well as the Selma Development Partnership, the Max G. Creech Selma Historical Museum Committee, and the Selma Historic Homeowners Association. I am also a member of the Johnston County Economic Development Commission, Concerned Citizens for Successful Schools, the Johnston County NAACP, the Smithfield-Selma Chamber Economic Development Forum, and on the board of Johnston County Industries. I serve as chair of the Upper Coastal Plain Regional Planning Organization's Transportation Advisory Committee, which identifies and prioritizes transportation-related projects for our area. I attend Edgerton Memorial United Methodist Church. I regularly support community projects, such as Arms Around Selma, Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations, Senior Day for the Town of Selma, litter sweep events, in our community Thanksgiving service. Participating in these organizations and events allows me to build relationships throughout our community.
Thank you all. Next question, we're going to start with you, Mr. Jackson. As we know, utility rates have been kind of a key issue for the council. We're kind of in flux all over the area. How do you see the future of the town in regards to utility rates, the utilities department, not just electricity, but also come out of the news, water supply and water rates with sewer?
One of the things that has held Selma back for the last umpteen years is high electric rates. We, as citizens, pay high electric bills. The council should take upon itself to keep the rates as low as possible, to bring a vision for the infrastructure. We should immediately, bond rates are at the lowest rates in history. I think we should have a bond issue to build up our infrastructure, to make sure that the wastewater that's going into the sewer system that's causing our rates to stay up to come down. I would see that the utility rates need to, the utility rates need to stay low, keep them low to bring industry, to bring new businesses downtown, to keep the homeowner money in his pocket, to make sure that, catch on the next time.
Ms. Langston.
Yes, sir. The electricity that's over here, you know, is too high, and I know that. I'm a citizen here too, and I'm a resident in Selma, and I know what that light bill is. You don't even want to go to the mailbox. You know, you just run right on by, maybe to stay there or something. But anyway, that is a problem here, and we would like to see it leveled out, and it's also, I think, keeping a lot of people from here and from, you know, calling Selma their home also. But personally, we would like to see it, and we would like to get it, and I know the people in the management in our town is trying their best to bring it down where it should be, where we can handle it. That's the problem, because most of the people in the lower part of town is on fixed income, and I can relate to that also. So we would like to see our council work as hard as we can to get it where it needs to be.
Thank you. Mr. Peterson?
Thank you. We need to take a serious look at the rates we charge, but with an eye to our financial stability in the future. We can't lower rates at the expense of our financial health. If our projected revenue, operating income, and projected cash balances don't meet certain thresholds, our bond rating and our ability to borrow funds will be severely impacted. A low bond rating results in our being charged higher interest rates on bonds, resulting in less money being available for capital improvements. We need to follow the lead of other communities in seeking out grant monies that homeowners can use to improve their houses and make them more energy efficient. We need to help homeowners conduct energy audits to see where they are unknowingly wasting power. These steps will help consumers reduce their consumption and thereby lower their utility bills, which is really what they're interested in. Thank you.
Ms. Oliver?
There are three important aspects to utility rates. Number one, they need to cover the cost of service. Number two, they need to allow for future growth. And number three, they need to be competitively priced with surrounding communities. We know that as a public power town, our electric rates are higher than those of other power agencies, such as Duke Energy. There's no question in my mind that this is the number one reason why people don't want to move in or why people want to move out of Selma. Over the years, I've pledged to reduce electric rates as much as we reasonably can, and I stress reasonably. That means gathering and reviewing a wide range of data on an ongoing basis versus making rash decisions that negatively impact our financial standing and lead to rework and confusion. I stand by my pledge My goal is to get our rates as close as possible to those of other North Carolina power agencies so that we will not be at a disadvantage in recruiting or retaining residents and businesses.
Mr. Overby.
Labor rates is a big interesting question.
Got a break. Let me ask you, could Cheryl and Mark bring the microphone a little bit closer?
Sure.
So do a sound test, something I'm having a hard time hearing. The rest of them sound good, but they sound,
Thank you.
thank you.
Test yours out there, Mr. Peterson.
Is it better?
That's better.
Okay.
Labor rates is a complex thing to look at. There's a lot of things that goes into. As a town council member now, we are working this problem left and right as much as we can. There's a lot that is used within the town other than just the electrical department from the money. It's used for other places. It pays the salary of the town manager. It also puts it on bonds and stuff. So all that's taken in consideration when we start dealing with rates and stuff. Infrastructure, we have also put in place for years that has been elected, and so we have put in place money that's been put away now. 25% that we raised is put into a bucket that is now used for future, so that the infrastructures won't be in bad shape as they are now. This town, our generation right now has inherited something that should have been done a long time ago. We're biting the bullets trying to make it fix. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Langston, we're going to start with you on this question. Economic development is so important to any town. You've touched on it. The other candidates have touched on it. What do you see as the role of the town of Selma in bringing new businesses to town?
Offering incentives, that would help. And that would help for the business to be getting manufacturing, maybe to come back that we were talked to before. But that we've got to have business here. We ought to offer something for them to want to come and be with us and grow in our town and make it, again, like I said, you know, make it the best Selma that can be made to help our residents that are here.
Mr. Peterson?
I agree with Ms. Langston in terms of the incentives. How the incentives work are basically they're tax credits. There's no money up front. I mean, when a business comes in, before they come here, they pay no taxes. What a tax credit would allow them to do is, over the course of, say, 5 years, pay no taxes to Selma. They'd still be consuming power, they'd still be using water and such, so we'd get revenue from them. But over that course of that 5 years, they'd pay no tax. That would allow them to establish their business here, and at the end of those 5 years, then they'd start paying that. So that we've got 5 years worth of them using our services and utilities and such, but then they've got that. We've got their money at the end of that. They're here. They're ensconced and they're an established business. Most small businesses fail in the first 3 years. At the 5-year point, they're here to stay. We've got them as good neighbors. We've got them as people who are going to be taxpayers here and help fund us. It's a good program for us to do.
Ms. Oliver?
For thriving economic development to take hold in Selma, we need to continually improve and grow our community. We have to be diligent in attracting new businesses and residents, improving the appearance of our community, updating our infrastructure, and that includes utilities, technology, and social, and taking other actions that will improve the overall quality of life in Selma and make people want to live, work, and play here. We've invested in certifying sites in our business parks and out on I-95. What are certified sites? They're sites where a lot of the testing of the land, such as soil samples or wetlands investigation, is done. And businesses find these very attractive because it means they choose that site, they can get up and going faster and start making a profit. In an effort to bring new industries to Selma, we are currently marketing our certified sites and other business sites through organizations such as the North Carolina Department of Commerce, Electricities, the North Carolina Railroad, and others.
Mr. Overby?
So, what can we bring? What can we do to bring other business here? Number one thing I think we have to do is we got to change the image of Selma. We got to put things out there that's going to, a drawing card that's going to bring some people in. I think we should meet with all the people that owns the buildings downtown and come together with some kind of conclusion of how we can generate and bring in business downtown. I think we have to change the image so that people will actually look at us and not, because our schools right now have bad scoring, and that's the first thing people looks at to come to Selma. If we got low scorings in the school, they're not coming here. But we've got to change that in some sort of way and manner. There are some things we can do. Mayor Oliver mentioned certified land. Maybe we should take a look at giving somebody some land just to get the revenue started here in Selma, get something started to bring in some kind of business that would actually start the ball rolling for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Since Mr. Overby brought it up, it just happens to be my next. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, the economic development for Selma.
7 years ago, Selma did a strategic planning document, a wonderful, wonderful document. If I were elected to the council, I would revisit this because there's many things that have not been done. To provide economic development, you need a sustainable community, sustainable neighborhoods, sustainable businesses. There are 20 empty buildings in downtown Selma right now. We need to incorporate not just downtown, the 2 exits, South Pollock Street, the whole community. We have 2 national historic districts right here in Selma, the envy of many historic areas. We're on 95, 301, 70, railroad station. So what I would do is the low-hanging fruit, those things that we can do right now, the tangible efforts, make Selma a destination. Give incentives to new business, yes, but we must also sustain and nurture those businesses that have been here paying the high electric rates.
Thank you. And as I jumped the gun just a second ago, Mr. Overby brought up the topic of schools, and it's often been discussed over the past year or so since the scores came out. How do you see the town's role in furthering the education of our youth and how it impacts economic development? We'll start with you, Mr. Peterson.
Well, as an educator, I'm glad I get to lead off with that question. Our local schools have received low grades on performance. Those grades are based on 2 criteria, test scores and on growth. 80% of that grade comes on test scores, 20% comes on growth. Now look at for near and dear to my heart, Smithfield Selma High School. Look at what we have. Okay, they don't take into consideration the students we have. We have a large Hispanic population. And they're trying very hard, but English is a second language for them. Not only do they have to master the material that is being presented to them, but they've got to learn the language. And English is a very, very difficult language to learn. Consequently, when they take the tests, their scores are very poor. And what that does is it lowers our scores dramatically. Now, graduating class at Smithfield Selma High School, 2015, $2 million in scholarships. If we're doing such a bad job, then why do we have that? We need to look more at growth and what that does and do less emphasis on the test scores. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Oliver?
Successful schools are a key component of successful communities. The town of Selma has a vested interest in ensuring that our schools are well respected and offer quality programs, courses, and experiences that are on par with the other Johnston County schools. Our town council has endorsed the Concerned Citizens for Successful Schools investigation into options for ensuring that all of the Johnston County schools have an equal opportunity to be successful and to be viewed favorably. I joined that organization because I am hopeful that recommendations from this group, along with other recommendations, will improve the reputation and the performance of our schools and the feeder schools. To implement these recommendations is not going to be easy. It's going to require close alliance with the Johnston County School Board and the Johnston County Board of Commissioners. We have to ensure that school policies and bond issuances are supportive of these recommendations.
Mr. Everby?
We have two schools here in Selma, the Selma Elementary and the Selma Middle School. Sometimes I don't think our schools are being judged correctly. I think it's compared to apples and oranges. Our schools are great. If you've never been in a school, I encourage you to go in there. Take a look and see what's going on. See the new education programs they're using in those schools. There's a lot, as Mr. Peterson mentioned, there's a lot of that doesn't know English, and it's a new education for them, and then things change. So sometimes we get, our schools kind of get left out. Think about it. Our schools, Selma Elementary and Selma Middle School, were the only two schools in this county that had code enforcement to a certain, to telling them what color clothes they had to wear. With two schools in our town, out of all the schools in Johnston County. Now, I think that was kind of picking on our people here in Selma, North Carolina.
Mr. Jackson?
Successful schools are a product of sustainable communities, and I disagree with the commission because I would be more in favor if they were more of an advocacy group, but they're taking legal routes. We have an elected school board and county commissioners. Anytime you do not see eye to eye with your school board, you can vote them out of office. The Johnston County Board of Education has spent a great deal of money in increasing the county average of money. They've given $754 above the county average of per pupil expenditure. There's several programs at Smithfield Selma High School, the International Baccalaureate Program, college and career placement, job training programs. So we cannot say it is the school, we cannot say it is the students, we cannot say it is the teachers, because those teachers in the middle schools, in the elementary schools are doing the very best they can. What we need to be are cheerleaders for our school system.
Ms. Langston?
I find that our schools are being spanked, in other words. I think our teachers are doing excellent jobs with these children that are coming in. I can say that I think they're overcrowded at times, and that puts a strain on everybody there, to learn. And also, our Johnson County schools and their boards is working very hard, I think, to help this, straighten this out. And we don't expect like oranges and apples here. Our teachers are not getting the money that they need for being a teacher. And that's like our nurses. Our nurses are not getting paid what they should. So you're not getting adequate sometime teacher, child, what they need. So I think that's a lot of what it is, but like I said, we do have two schools here, and another 10 years we'll have two.
And the final question for y'all this evening, there have been prior talks of collaboration between services, specifically police and fire, between Selma and Smithfield. Where do you see the future of the town regarding these types of endeavors? We'll start with you, Ms. Oliver.
I believe that our town's future rests heavily on our ability to form partnerships with others. Smithfield, Selma, any other town in Johnston County. We cannot wall ourselves off from the rest of the world. We must be actively engaged in ongoing dialogues on critical issues that impact the future of Selma. I believe that part of our duty in representing Selma is to represent Selma at forums outside of the town limits. Just because we're a small town doesn't mean we have to be small-minded. I try to take every opportunity to reach out to larger groups. Examples include, when I first became mayor, I reinstituted the quarterly meeting amongst Johnston County mayors. Why? So we could share common issues, learn from each other. I'm a member of the Johnston County Economic Development Commission that looks across the county. The Triangle J Council of Governments that networks us with all the surrounding counties to Johnston County. Partnerships are important.
Mr. Everby?
I think there's great opportunities between growing outside of Selma, two towns working together. It's a golden opportunity to cut costs. We can take and we can buy by bulk by working with each other. We can buy it and split the costs among both of them and get them cheaper. But in order for this to work, the administration's got to work together. The administration on both has got to know what's going on, and you can't keep no one in the secret and hide it from them. Everybody that's on this council and everybody that's on the Smithfield Council has to know what's going on. There's golden opportunity. You can eliminate some jobs by combining some. Let's just take for instance, you mentioned police department. If we did that, there's no reason to have two police chiefs between Smithfield and Selma. You could combine that to make one. Now, a lot of people don't like that because you say we're cutting somebody's job. But remember, we can also buy cars in bulk between the two towns and get them at a cheaper price if we work that way.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson?
Selma is a unique town. We need to preserve our heritage and embrace the future. Selma has always gotten the short end of the stick. So I would advocate anything with purchasing, anything that's going to save the taxpayers money. But each town in Johnston County is unique. That's what makes Johnston County a diverse place. And I would, the merger talks that probably are next if you talk about combining forces, no, I'm not for a merging of Smithfield or Selma. I think that we need to keep our police force and our fire force as strong and intact as possible. We have community agreements with all these communities, so I don't see any other reason why we should negotiate further with merging. Purchasing, bulk purchasing, I'm all for that.
Ms. Langston?
I agree with the mayor and the two guys before me here. Merging is good. And she was talking about a round table, you know, getting the mayors from each town. Anytime you put, say, 6 towns together, you're going to have something, and he's going to have something, and I'm going to have something that together we can work with. And we can also keep our little town, Selma, like it is. It's unique. We've had it forever. And I'm like Mr. Overby, I think buying in bulk is just absolutely wonderful idea. You know, you can buy cheaper and save money, and that's what we're all about, is saving money. And then we can use it to make our town grow, you know, rather than, and our fire and our police department is our main, what we need to think about here. Because we want to.
I'm going to have to cut you off. I'm sorry. Thank you. Mr. Peterson?
Once again, I'll fall back on my experiences with the American Legion. I'm the district commander. I have posts in Johnson and Wake counties. Some of those posts are doing very well. Some of them are not. We have essentially quarterly district meetings. At those district meetings, I encourage each post to be there, and they give post reports. And I ask them, okay, tell us something that you're doing good, and tell us some area where you're having problems. Then we sit down and we collaborate over there. Posts that are not doing well, I tell them, okay, go over here, visit their posts and see what they're doing. Find out what they're doing, okay? Bring it back to your post. Have them come in and assess what you're doing there. There are things that you can do. You know? Dialogue is cheap. It's very easy to do. I think we need to start a dialogue, okay? Very inexpensive. As far as sharing emergency services and collaborating and combining those, I think it would be a very difficult thing to do. I think it would be a mistake, quite honestly.
Thank you all. That is all the questions we have for this evening. Final portion, you each will have about a minute to just kind of close, wrap things up. Anything else that you would like to let the citizens know? And we are going to, you want to do a 2-minute? Okay, since we have time, we're going to do a 2-minute closing. So instead of 1 minute, you get 2 minutes to close, wrap things up, maybe say some ideas that you did not have time to express before. We're going to start with you, Mr. Overby.
I was going to suggest let Mark, but I do. Selma is a great town to live in. It's a great opportunity. we've got 95, we've got 70, we've got the railroad tracks. This is the only town that where the tracks cross. You'll find it nowhere else where the two tracks come across from north to south, west, east. It's where the two tracks. We're sitting on a gold mine. It's just got to get there. We got to start working. A lot of us don't understand that there's a lot of things that this council, this administration that's in office right now is battling and trying to get beyond so we can start working on. We have a super economical person. We just got to figure out how we got to take away going out and measuring how high your grass is and telling you got to cut it so she can be focused on doing something else, or she can actually start working on trying to get business in here. This town, we have great schools. It's a good place. You just have to go in and spend some time and just go in it. Mr. Bell at the middle school invites each and every one of you to stop by. He gives you a pass. You can walk the hallways and go anywhere you want to. And I'm sure you can go to Triple S and do the same thing. But in order for Selma to grow, we just have to change the image that's here in Selma today. And that's a hard thing to do. We have a lot of things that's coming down the pipe. The electric rates that is in the news now, give us time. It's a complex thing. We have not made a decision yet to raise or lower the rates at any one amount. It's something we've got to take in consideration and work through some of the things that is actually driving that request to come to us. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you come out and vote on November the 3rd. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the polls. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson?
Again, thank you for coming, and again, my name is Eric Jackson. I would appreciate your vote on November the 3rd because I am for sustainability of our downtown, all of Selma, our neighborhoods, viability, diversity, and making Selma a destination point. If elected, I will be a voice for all of the citizens of Selma. One of the things that this council and previous councils have had is a dependence on consultants. You elect 5 people. You don't elect consultants. So you have a very good town staff. You pay them a very good salary. So I think we need to think inwardly, think with all of our minds. All the candidates that are running love their town. They wouldn't be running if they didn't. But when you go to the polls on November the 3rd, I want you to think about this. Where do you want to see your town in 5 years? Do you want someone that's going to be complacent, go along with the crowd? Do you want someone that's going to think outside of the box? Do you want someone that has had over 25 years of community service at the state, local, and national level? An educator, someone that sees history. And remember, if you do not remember the past, you are doomed to repeat it. Thank you. I appreciate your vote.
Ms. Langston?
Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for having us. And I didn't thank Chick-fil-A. We want to thank him. Thank you very much. Thank the Chamber for setting this up for us to be able to come and to talk to our citizens in Selma. My purpose is to be a liaison between the residents and the government of their town. Also, it's for everybody, not one person, but everybody. And definitely, I want to see our town grow. I don't want it to stand still like it has for a few years. And with time, everything's going to level out. I know they can be, if we work together as one. We can't be at odds, we got to come together. And with the help of our Savior, we can do that. Thank you very much. Remember me on November 3rd.
Mr. Peterson?
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Smithfield Selma Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to address you tonight. Please let's give them a round of applause. Also like to thank Keith Dimsdale and Chick-fil-A for the wonderful reception they provided for us. In most of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for caring enough about our community to be here tonight. I'm not going to make any promises to you. Instead, I'm going to give you my word and will pledge to you that should you put your trust in me, I will work diligently with the mayor, the town council, town manager to make sound decisions based on factual data that promotes the best outcomes for possible outcomes for the town of Selma. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America.
And finally, Miss Oliver.
Let me ditto all the thank yous to the Chamber for having this candidates forum, and to Chick-fil-A for their wonderful, I guess what you would call a meet and greet and eat. It was enjoyed, and we appreciate your effort. The future of Selma is bright. We are growing. At the end of fiscal year 2014, our tax base increased $9 million. Although we do not have the final findings for fiscal year 2015, we know based on building permits that have been issued that the tax base will increase at least another $11 million. Sales of existing homes is trending upward. We are trending in the right direction. I want to keep that momentum going. My experience in strategic planning, financial management, organizational design, marketing, and education allow me to successfully address present-day realities as well as prepare for future possibilities. As town council member and mayor, I've consistently been out and about all over our town, speaking at churches, attending events for families and businesses, listening to your concerns, and being involved in the other community efforts that I talked about earlier. With your vote, I will continue to be a diligent civil servant who works for you and with you to build a proud today and a prosperous tomorrow for our great town of Selma.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming. That concludes our candidates forum for this evening. I would like to thank all of the candidates for being here this evening. And again, as you have heard, election November the 3rd, and as so often is said this time of year, vote early, vote often. And thank you guys very much. Have a good evening.